I'll praise you, Most High. Yeah, that sound good, y'all. Colo, what we doing?
Hey, cook that up, Khalid.
We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. This here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. This here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. They said you got the call, they trying to blackball you. Play what they own, bro. You can't blackball a boss. The whole world, they hate Israel. The way you hate your neighbor, might as well pull the trigger on yourself. You know we get excited by the smoke. Every day we casting flesh. Save my treasure stored in heaven, we gon' blow the rest. They disrespecting and we check the bank that causing kept it still. They asking others about my business, but I ain't got no instant miss. See, I still deal with ox direct. Cause your person don't mean you respect. Your outlet don't get no credit if the ox ain't in it. Money answer all things and you got all these questions. Playing Vic, look, I employ slavery. If you broke, just say it. Yeah, them crews in the hood, Jews in the hood. I caught them clues, now I'm good. I broke it down, he understood my all to you. Filtered through, you found a few, I'm good. We what we sold, this here exclusive. They like, hey, folk, look what you doing. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. This here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. This here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. Most I told me, be still, give a room to work. Know my movie work. Your faith ain't good, don't put the work in. In the spirit flexing, that my day job. Getting the mode out my own, I don't know what they are. Before I got the blueprint, and I'm too legit to quit. Let it spark in the dark, be a light, got it lit. Trying to map my movement, got my haters pondering. The odds set the questionnaire, they wanna know if you still lit. It hit different, you authentic, a lot of odds pretending. We do it for the Lord, got my own motion, who are you to judge? The most high first, none above. In the spirit, we locked in, they'll come against your plot. You know Judas said, yeah, we spit them scripts, they barely not. Came on slave ships, then you not black. You know they tell you everything. Isaiah 30:20, yeah, we bad. You see what happened when they tried to rail the train up off the track. False witness, hypocrite. We throw shots back, now they feel heat. Must go get it. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. This here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. This here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still.
Alrighty then, welcome to the Lions Den. If you like the information that's presented tonight, please hit the like. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Y'all take over.
Peace to the panel. You know, I told the brothers when I first, you know what I'm saying, started talking to them, I come in peace, right? And I came to build. But if brothers want to talk about possessing people, like, because you talking about some people who just came up out of slavery. So to even have that on your topic of your mouth is like a wild, you know what I mean? A wild stance. But I'm saying cool with it because it's in there, right? To the trophy, you know what I'm saying, goes to the victor for sure. Whoever make it to the finish line. But if you want to have that stance, my whole stance is before you even get there, you might be fouls of the heavens. You know what I'm saying? You might be meat for the fowls of the heavens. So I'm like, well, let's see. You know what I mean? Let's go over these scriptures to see if you even gonna make it to that part to even be talking about possessing somebody. That's where I'm at with it. Either we could build on some, another topic. But if y'all talking about possessing people, well, yeah, before we get to that part, let's talk about what Jeremiah had to say about that. I land my plane with that.
Unmute your mic.
My whole standpoint with Jeremiah 2 and 3, and it should come to pass, they should come unto thee. But this shall you go forth. And I shall tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword shall slay, and dogs to tear, and fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And I will cause them to be removed into all kingdoms of the earth, because of Manasseh, the son of Hezekiah, king of Judah, for that which he did in Jerusalem. So in 4, right, this has happened. All this has happened. First off, the Manasseh, the son, that all the way back in the day when he was king. 2 and 3 happened because of something that happened that Manasseh, the son of Hezekiah, the king of Judah, did. In order for, that's a disobedience of Judah, in order for another captivity to happen, which Zechariah chapter 15 supports, right? So let's go to Zechariah chapter 15, right?
Could
Verse
you put the verses on the screen so that people could see?
chapter 13, verse 7, Shalaki. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 7.
Did you grabbing that for him, sister?
So if we go to Zechariah 13 and 7, it reads, awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So this scattering that is mentioned, right, in Jeremiah 3, and Jeremiah, what was that, 15 that you were speaking about? Uh that scattering, right, happened also in Zechariah as the precept to Zechariah 13 and 7. That's a precept that already happened. So you wanted to skip around 4, right? Verse 4
No.
in
I
Jeremiah.
actually asked you about the fowls of the heaven. So you just addressed everything but what I actually talked about. So I'm saying, show me chapter verse when the fowls of the heavens was eaten on Judah or Jerusalem.
Shalaki, give me 1 second. You're talking about, so you pulling that from Jeremiah 13 or 15, fowls of the heaven, from 2 and 3?
To solidify my stance in Jeremiah 7 and 33, he brings it up even before you get to 15. So we are establishing that those fowls of the heavens and eating some carcasses, that's happening. We just want to know, did it happen yet?
In this sense, as far as the fowls of the heaven, when the Levites killed 3,000 of their own people, with those carcasses, what happened to those carcasses? So the Levites, so when the Levites disobeyed, when they went against, where can I pull that at? They went against God's rule. The Levites killed their own people, 3,000 of their own people, and those dead carcasses.
That's probably gonna be Deuteronomy chapter 32. Is that what you want?
Okay. Let me see. Shalaki. Kara.
Go ahead, Baba Kasha.
Take the mic for that. Because I'm not.
Nah, man, you and Apollo, man, y'all go.
It's supposed to be
I,
their caucuses. I'm trying to understand how
Hey,
guys.
I would say this. Salakia. I would say this. This verse can be. This verse is most definitely prophetic, but we can see it now in today's time, right? Because according to Jeremiah 7:33, he was talking about they were doing we was in captivity in the Babylonian captivity, right? Led by King Nebuchadnezzar. So I most definitely say that this verse, what he mentioned, Jeremiah 7:33, is prophetic, but we can see it now, right? With our oppression, with the current oppression and judgment that our people is going through, right? We can also see
Chapter verse, brother. Chapter verse. You
what
preaching?
chapter verse that we're still oppressed.
No, chapter verse where the fowls already chewed on you.
Oh no. I was still focused on Jeremiah 7:33 when you mentioned and saying the carcass of these people shall
Yeah.
be meat for the fowls of
And
heaven.
then in the next verse, it talks about the bride and the bridegroom. That ain't happened yet. So when I'm gonna take you, I'm gonna show you that this is all gonna happen at the same
Yeah,
time
no, no,
in
yeah.
Revelation
Please
19.
show me. But I would just like I said, I know you mentioned I wasn't trying to get in y'all debating, man. But I know you
No,
mentioned
you could
about
get in
Jeremiah
it.
7 and
No, you
33.
allow. Hey, listen, brother, you allow all in here, right? I this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
you
right,
hop
right,
on
right,
in
right.
here. You in it now. Can't get out now. That's what I'm saying. You in it
Oh
now.
man, no, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong
So
with that, brother.
at this point, I'm saying if you there's a whole Bible, yeah, and there ain't no time limit, so
Right.
you could
We got
scroll
all
through
day
there.
and night for this.
We got all night, right?
Correct.
So you go through there and you find your carcass in the fowls of the heaven eating you up, and you run it past me.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go to it. So I want to hear your stance on it then with the Jeremiah 7. I'm not gonna tell you no stuff. I really wasn't even paying the well, I was paying attention, but I just want to know your whole breakdown for what you presented to my brother Masha,
It
basically.
ain't just to him. You in it now too, brother.
Yeah, that's why I said what you presented. I want to know. I genuinely want to just hear you guys because I wasn't just all the way there. But tell
Uh,
me, so what's your stance today?
we gonna go to Jeremiah 19.
All right, let's go to it. Jeremiah 19. Talk to me. What you got?
All right,
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah 19
Okay.
and 17.
Con.
Cause
This Jeremiah 19 and 17 or
yeah,
15?
I like you to read it. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
said
because you
Jeremiah
get
19.
you get better understanding when you reading it than versus me reading it. You know what I'm saying?
You said Jeremiah 19, verse 17.
Yeah, start right there.
Jeremiah chapter 19 only had 15 verses,
Oh,
bro.
for
There
Revelation.
you go. There you go.
Revelations. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Revelation.
okay, con.
I need to get on my fucking computer.
Hold on. All right,
Revelation.
Revelation 19, verse 17. I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourself together unto the supper of the great God. Okay.
All
And
right, so
uh,
I'm making my stance right there that
okay.
the fouls didn't even happen yet because this is in Revelations and this is the Great Supper. This Great Supper is not going to happen until the Messiah is about to come back. So
Oh, uh-huh.
I'm
I'm
saying
with you
that.
on that.
All right, so drop down to 18. And
Okay.
this is how you know and then when I'm saying this, everybody's included in this. So go ahead,
Everybody's included. All right, and I got a precept that I want to bring out.
no doubt.
You pull out this 19. I mean, this
Hmm.
next verse. So you said Revelation 17, right?
Hmm.
And verse 18. You 18, right?
18, yep.
Okay, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Okay, so who is this woman? The
Huh?
Revelation. So who is
Hold
this
on.
woman? Huh?
Did you read 18?
Oh, you on Revelation 18. Salakia, brother. I'm on 7.
19 and 18. You
19 to
skipped.
18. Salakia.
You
That's
went
on
to
me.
17, now 18.
Hey, bro. Hey, you had me in Jeremiah and you was in Revelation. My bad. It happens. All right,
Yeah.
Revelation 19 to 18. That you may eat the flesh of the kings and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, small and now, hold on. Can I say this?
Yeah, go
Let,
ahead.
no, let me ask you this. So your stance is you believe that did like the files can be everyone, right?
Huh? Say
I
that.
said
You was
I'm
breaking.
asking you believe that this is talking about everyone, right? Like when it's talking about the files of heaven, like this would be everyone, right? And your stance.
I'm saying it pretty much named everybody in that verse right there. But I'm
Okay,
saying
come.
particularly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah said that this is going to happen to y'all too, right? Particularly y'all. Like I'm saying, this could be anybody on the earth, right? But particularly y'all, Jeremiah pointed out that this is going to happen to y'all. So in the Great Supper, when the fowls come out, we
Mm-hmm.
know that somehow, you know what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
Judah is definitely getting ate by the fowls at this time. So
Uh-huh.
if that's what I'm saying, when y'all be saying everybody's getting saved, I'm like, wait a second now. Yeah, the ones that's doing handling the law and the ones that's following the commandments, yeah, and doing all of it being righteous. Yes, you know what I mean. I'm not talking
Mm.
about them. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people in Judah that's going to be falling up under this. And the people, the reason why they're going to be falling up under this is because Jeremiah said this all the way back then. So now do
Uh-huh.
we want to see, is this still continuing? Because there's other things that Jeremiah said in Jeremiah 19 to signify that let you know that this is a continuing prophecy, right? This is a
Uh,
called forerunner prophecy. So let me
uh,
break it.
uh,
Go to Jeremiah
uh,
19,
uh,
and I think it's 3. It starts at 3 or 4. I'm going there now.
Jeremiah 19. 3 or 4, 3 and 4. I thought you said 3 or 4. Okay, cool.
Hold on, I'm going there right now. My
Okay,
phone is a little
take
slow.
your time. Take your time. I just want to talk about I'm still stuck on this file in heaven in Revelation 19 and how that's most definitely talking about Israel. But I
I
still want
showed you. We went to Jeremiah 15, didn't we?
but
You read
no,
the
you probably did on the Facebook Messenger, but not right now. But
no, the young boy read it.
oh my shy. Oh, okay.
Uh, Shalaki. So, reading the context of Jeremiah 7, right? When we go back up to 29, the context, the header is "Let Jerusalem mourn," and from
Hold on, brother. Where are you at right now? I like to be at the cent.
so
I
you
don't got no problem
read
going where you
33
going. Just let
about
me know where
so
you at.
so you read 33, right? Jeremiah 7 and 33, the carcasses of the people,
All right,
the
hold on.
fowls,
Let me
right?
go there. Hold on, brother. I'm in Jeremiah 19 right now. So
Yeah. So
let me get to where you at.
Shalakia. So I'm reading your base point from what we started this conversation about as far
Yeah.
as the context of everything. I'm reading
All
your
right.
base point, right? Jeremiah 7 and 33 about the fowls, the carcasses, right? Then I read up, right, into the context of the scripture from the
Yeah.
top, right? And the header, let Jerusalem mourn. So when we go up to the top, right?
What part? Where are you at? What verse?
Go to 30. It says, "For the
No,
children of
no.
Judah had done evil in my sight, saith the Lord. They
Right.
set their abomination in the house, which is called by my name, to pollute it." Right? So, this context, right? What time period are we in? So, in this context, they have a house to pollute that is called by my name. Right now, in this context, we do not have no house of the Lord to pollute in general. What house do we have? This is talking about mainly a temple, right? In order to pollute, they violated in general. They violated something that really contempted the Most High. in 30, right? In verse 30, above 33, to say for him to cause a foul. So, and we can, I'm gonna end up later. I'm gonna pull my precepts for that. So in 30, right?
Yeah.
What was that temple that was polluted in order to provoke the Most High to cause those fouls? In 30, right? It says, abominations in the house which is called by my name. Right now, there is no house that's called by the name of the Most High that Israel is polluting that we have in order to provoke him in that manner right now. So you're saying that this has not happened, had to happen. We have a temple right now. This had to been back in the day because this is saying that they had something in order to provoke him that they could basically contaminate. In 30, they have said their abomination in the house which is called by my name. What house is
I
called by
think
his name?
I think you just confusing yourself, brother.
I'm
Because
confusing myself.
yeah. Because one thing about the scriptures, right? Unless you already
And
knew
then it's
about
talking
this,
about mourning.
wait a second, brother. Unless you already knew about this previously to me bringing it to your attention, there's no way that you could possibly know what this is saying on the fly,
Another cop out.
right? No, you copping out because I'm about to show you you don't know what you talking about when I take you to Jeremiah 19. See,
Okay,
because
let's go there.
if you would have knew that, you wouldn't. When I said I was going to Jeremiah 19, you wouldn't have took me back here and said this if you knew what was in Jeremiah 19. Right. And I said that this was a continuous thing going on. And I'm going to show you in Jeremiah 19. But you with the young boy, you don't know how to sit back and give your ear, right? And learn. So you jumped out the window and now you looking crazy because when I take you to Jeremiah 19 and show you why, right? The questions that you was trying to ask me before, like, yo, brother, sometimes you should have just let me take you to 19 and I'd have answered your questions. You wouldn't have took us back here and causing this confusion. So let's go to Jeremiah 19 and unconfuse the situation. Because you did some things. Yeah, I mean, your forefathers did some things.
But where are we going?
Jeremiah 19. They did more than just see in 7 right there. It sounds like my voice is
Where are we going in 19, brother? Hello.
I was hearing a lot of static. That's why I backed out.
Where are we going in 19?
19. Hold on, let me get it up. So we're gonna go to 19 and 3. If the brother could read from 19 and 3.
I'll read it. And it says, and say, hear ye the word of the Lord, O kings of Judah, and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever heareth his ears shall tingle.
Keep going.
Because they have forsaken me, and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in it unto... Oh, boy.
Yeah, getting your answer. You getting
Let's
your
go to
answer.
Ahab and those strange incense, brother. Hold on. So those strange incense, brother. Those strange
Keep
incense.
going, brother. You
Those
getting
strange
your
incense
answer, brother.
already happened, brother.
Hold on, brother. Just do what you just read it,
Okay,
brother.
so let's go.
Yeah.
So let's go. Now I bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever heareth his ears shall tingle, because they have forsaken me and have estranged this place and have burned incense in it unto the other gods, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, for the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocence. They have built also the high places of Baal to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it into my mind. So, brother, them strange incense, let me pull that
Hold,
for you.
hold, hold. No,
Give
no,
me,
don't do that. Don't do that. That's for me to break down, brother. You just keep reading.
I have a precept for those strange incense.
It's
Okay, let's
cool.
keep
Bring it
reading.
out when it's your turn.
All right. They have built also the high places of Baal to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came into my mind. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that this place shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. And I will make void the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem in this place, and I will cause them to fall by the sword before their enemies, and by the hands of them that seek their lives. And their carcasses will I give to be meat for the fowls of the heaven, and for the beasts of the earth. And I will make this city desolate, and hissing. Everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished and hiss, because all of the plagues of thereof. You want to keep reading up?
Yeah.
And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one of the flesh of his friend in the siege and straightness, wherewith their enemies, and they that seek their lives shall straighten them. Then shalt thou break the bottle. You keep reading? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. You can keep reading right
Then
here on
shalt
the
thou
button.
break the bottle in the sight of the men that go with thee, and shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, even so will I break this people and this city, as one breaketh a potter's vessel, that cannot be made whole again, and they shall bury them in Tophet, till there be no place to bury. This will I do unto this place, saith the Lord, and to the inhabitants of thereof, and even make the city as Tophet, and the house of Jerusalem.
All right, stop right there. So, do you know
Huh?
what Tophet is?
Tophet?
Yeah. Do you
I
know what that
can
is?
really quickly.
All
Explain
right.
it to me, brother.
Tophet is hell, right?
Huh?
So at the end,
Tophet is hell?
yeah. So when he's saying on 12, thus will I do unto this place, with the place that he's talking about,
Say it again.
Jerusalem. All right. So then it says, thus says the Lord, and to the inhabitants thereof. Do you know what that means when it says that?
And the inhabitants thereof. As far as Jerusalem, the inhabitants thereof, we mean the surrounding areas, the inhabitants thereof.
No, that's their children.
The children, the inhabitants thereof, Jerusalem,
Yeah.
and the inhabitants. So you're talking about the people of Jerusalem. Yes. Okay. So the
Yeah, and
people
their
of
inhabitants
Jerusalem, the
thereof.
people of
So
Jerusalem,
that's
and the
talking about
inhabitants.
the people
Yes, that's
there
the people.
and the people that's coming
I
after
got you.
them.
I
All
got
right.
you.
Now keep going.
Keep going.
Cause
Keep reading.
yeah, this is all straight news. You obviously never must have read this before. Come on.
Yep. For sure. Um. Then thou
13.
shalt break the bottle in the sight of the men that go with thee, and thou shall
You got
say unto them,
13. You on 13, brother.
the potter's vessel. Yes, I read enough context. In the house of Jerusalem, in the house of the kings of Tophet, because all the houses of Tophet, because all of the houses upon whose roofs they have burned incense unto all the host of heaven, and have poured out drink of office unto other gods.
All right,
Then
stop.
came
Stop right there real quick. So remember when you was asking me what were they doing and where were they at? No, it was on their houses and they was doing it in their houses. So even though when you're in your house, that's still, if you is one with God, that's still his house. Your house is his house, right? So he was saying that they were actually doing it, burning it on the tops of their houses and pouring out liquor, or I don't know what, liquids. But keep going.
we're in 14. Then came Jeremiah from Tophet, for the Lord had sent him to prophecy, and he stood in the court of the Lord's house and said to all the people, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring upon this city and upon all her towns as the evil that I have pronounced against it, because they have hardened their necks, that they might not hear my words.
So he's saying he gonna do everything that's in this verse. What's all the stuff that he said he was gonna do in this verse? It's one of
Explain
the
it to me.
thousand. I don't want you to name them all. That was rhetorical. But one of them is the fowls of the heaven, right?
Hmm?
So he said that that's definitely going to happen, right? Jeremiah, he pronounced that to y'all. All of the evils that he just said, he said it's going to happen, right?
Con.
All right. So when I take you to Revelations 19, now we're going to go back to Revelations 19 because we know ain't no fowls from the heavens came out of the heavens yet. Now that ain't happened yet, right? So when I take you to 19, because you might think that you ain't in when it go to 19, because it doesn't specifically say Judah or Israel right there, right? Hold on, let me get there with you. You know what I mean? Y'all will try to act like nah, that ain't got nothing to do with y'all, right? Try to Hebrew shuffle right up out of this one. You know what I mean? Nah. Jeremiah locked y'all in. You know what I mean? So now when I take you back to Jeremiah,
Uh,
when I take you back to Jeremiah 19 and 17. So start right there, brother.
Jeremiah 19,
And 17.
19 and 17. You said Jeremiah
Mhm.
19 and 17?
Yeah,
19 and 17.
yeah.
Jeremiah 19 and 17.
Yeah, no, my fault. Revelations 19 and 17.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Let me know when I can pull my precepts. So
Right
this is
after this.
Revelation 19 and 17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun and cried with a loud voice, saying, to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven came and gathered themselves together unto the supper of the great God.
Well, all right. Well, he talk about biting y'all.
And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying, all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven come and gather themselves together unto the supper. You're talking about in this time period? You're talking about the
Hey,
chosen, as far
don't,
as if this
don't
time
worry
period in
about the
Revelations, brother,
time
we're gonna be in
period.
the wilderness.
Don't
The
worry
chosen is
about
gonna
the
be in the
time
wilderness.
period. No, you ain't gonna be nowhere yet, right? This is
You
before
talking about
you.
me personally?
You personally. I'm talking to you right now, right?
The Most High has no respect of a persons, brother.
All right, no doubt. So I'm
And he
just
has no
saying,
respect for a nation of Israel. So when you're talking about feasting on me, shit, I might not be there, brother. But what we're talking
right.
about the elect that's actually gonna make it to that 1,000 year
All right,
reign. Am I gonna
if
actually
you
make it
want
to
to
that
put them
1,000 year
all,
reign?
if you want to
When
put all your
at this
brothers in
time,
there,
what we're
go
saying
ahead and
is,
put
brother,
them in there. Go
you
ahead, put
haven't
them
let
in
me
there.
pull my precepts, especially about that strange
I said
incident
after
or
this was my last one right here. So you could go wherever you want to take me to show me wherever you want to take me. But I need you to read 18 because you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So yeah,
so
once
18.
he
It
read
said
that,
that
hold on. Once he read that, and then he bring out his, won't y'all reiterate to the audience what is the topic of this discussion at the moment?
Mhm.
ooh,
No problem.
Okay.
So 18,
all right, I got 18. That ye
yeah,
may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains and the flesh of mighty men and the flesh of horses and of them that sit on them and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. So who you think this talking about?
everybody.
You think this talking about everybody?
It said
Including Israelites,
all
including
men.
Israel.
Yeah, I showed you it definitely including y'all.
So
Right?
give
We ain't
me,
gonna play them games.
man, give
Right?
me 60 seconds.
Now, after I just want to say this one thing. I showed you that Jeremiah said that, and he said that all of these evil things we're gonna do, and he named the fowls of the heavens. I'm taking you to the part where the fowls of the heavens is coming out of the heavens, right? And at this point, it said all because I'm trying to show you that everybody's including, man. Everybody's getting judged. There ain't no, oh, we gonna be over here, and no, everybody's getting judged. And if you is one of them people that get judged on the other side, this is one of the things that's gonna happen to you. Now you could take me wherever you want to take me, brother.
All right. The first scripture we're going to go to, right? We're going to go to Leviticus 10, 1 through 7. That's what we're going to go to first, brother. Let me pull that real quick. Leviticus 10, 1 through 7. And Nadab and Abihu of Aaron, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer, and put fire therein, and put incense thereon, and offered strange fire before the Lord, which he commanded them not. And there went out fire from the Lord and devoured them, and they died before the Lord. And Moses said unto Aaron, This is it that the Lord spake, saying, I will be sanctified of men that come nigh me, and before all the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. Moses called Mishael and Elzaphan, the sons of Uzziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said unto them, Come near, carry her. So this strange incense, you ask me what has already happened. That strange incense that was burnt back in, what was that? Jeremiah has already happened when they happened to be who that was burnt with that strange incense, and they were killed for that, right? So let's go back to Jeremiah. What was that? What was we at? What was that? 7?
Brother, I've been talking about the fouls, right? You're proving my point that
I'm proving your
when you
point
take
as
me
far
there
as what
and you show me that y'all
you're
got
saying
killed
that
for
this
them
is in the
incense.
context of present time. That
No.
hasn't happened yet. When it
All
has.
right. All you got to do is take me to the fouls of the how you took me there. Now take me to the fouls and show me where
Wow.
y'all did that already.
Wow. Okay. So that was in Jeremiah 7 and 33 about the fowls of the air. So you're going to go back to that when went to the back to the context of that. So right before I go there, right, we're gonna go Ecclesiastes 10 and 7 about you saying that the fowls of the earth, right? They ate upon what? People on horses?
I'm asking when they
That was
ate
in
people
Revelations
from
19
Judah.
that you took me to. Wait. Revelations, the fowls is also in Revelations 19, right?
Yeah. I mean, where are you taking me
19
right
and
now?
what?
Oh, it's at 19 and 18.
19 and 18, right? You
Yeah.
said, right, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, the flesh of captains, the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of the horses. So, in Ecclesiastes, right, 10 and 7, it says, I
Hold
have
on.
seen
Hold
servants
on. Hold
upon
on,
horses
brother.
and
Let me
princes
get there.
walking in
Hold
service
on,
upon the
brother.
earth.
Now, I told you I like to go. I got to be there with you now. You
Okay,
said
so
Ecclesiastics.
10 and 7. So I pulled the strange incense from Jeremiah. You telling me to go back to, right, the actual fowls. So you're telling me the fowls in Revelations 19 and 18 that were eating upon the flesh of mighty men, horses, right? So
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking in service upon the earth. He'll dig a pit shall fall into it. Whoso breaketh a hedge, a serpent shall bite him. You understand what I'm saying? I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking your servants upon the earth. So what I'm telling you is those princes, those mighty men, those servants that were upon horses at that time period, that might look like, you feel me, mighty men. Because at this time period, you might look at them as mighty men. They're going to get fallen. They're going to get eaten. And those horses that they were riding on, going to get eaten as well. Ecclesiastes 10 and 7, that were servants upon horses, princes walking good servants.
That doesn't say anything about fowls of the earth, brother.
Brother, you're talking about a context of this time period. Okay, give me 1 second back.
Hey, Salaki, for 1 second. I hope I'm not out of order here. I just wanna I just wanna just bring up because I was talking to this brother about this, when he introduced me to Revelations, right? And I always just wanted to just bring up this scripture in Ezekiel for 1 second, if y'all don't mind.
Ezekiel what,
Ezekiel
brother?
39. Just
Hold
go
on,
to
brother.
Ezekiel
Let me get there
39
with
for
you.
1 second,
No
if
doubt.
you don't mind.
Everywhere, any
Again,
Hold
let
on
the
one
people
second.
know.
I
Again, let the people know because they lost. What is this?
Yeah, so the question is that we talking about who to file, right? And the brother think that the file could be for everyone, right? Not like all the file, like not just Israel, but all the files of heaven could be everyone. And I just want to prove that Revelations 19 is still, when it comes down to the files of heaven, still talking about Israel. I want to pull this scripture out before. So Ezekiel 39 verse 17 through 20, this all I want to pull out and I'll be done. Right, it says this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 39 verse 17. And thou son of man, thus saith Yahweh thy Elohim, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field assemble yourselves and come gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice, that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood. Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the prince of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullock, and all of them fatlings of Bashan. And then it says, and ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken of my sacrifice, which I have sacrificed for you. Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men and with all men of war, saith Yahweh. Ezekiel 39 is talking about Revelation 19, verse 17, when all the fowls of heaven will devour the mighty men. This is still talking about Israel. Ezekiel 39 prophesied about Revelation 19. That's why I was trying to bring it out to you, brother. To go ahead and cut that short.
No doubt, brother. I mean,
so what's your rejecting on that? And I'm done. Masha, I'm Salak. I'm gonna let you have the flow. But I just wanted to bring out that Ezekiel 39 because this is literally Revelation 19 right here. The fowls of heaven.
Okay, so Khan, Shalakia, digress.
Yeah, so I can get both of y'all right now with this. What I'm about to say.
So let's go to Deuteronomy 28, bro. I'm gonna digress with Deuteronomy
hold on.
28.
What about? Let me address your brother real quick, right? So to the brother, right? And you are correct, right? And I thought the young brother was going to already take me here, right? I was waiting for this. So I have no problem with you bringing this up and explaining it how you're explaining it, right? Because you are explaining it right. But the part that you're missing out is Jeremiah had said that this was going to happen to y'all. So at this point, you have to be saying that Jeremiah's lying. Because Jeremiah clearly said that y'all have 4 plagues that's going to happen to you. And one of those is the fowls of the earth. So when that fowls of the earth part happened, Jeremiah already said that Judah is going to be in that part of the carcasses eating the bodies.
Okay, so Khan, where I'm gonna digress at is Deuteronomy 28. That's one of the curses of Deuteronomy.
Hold on, let me get there with you, brother.
Okay, so Deuteronomy 28 states that that's one of the
curses. Hold on, brother. You like to talk before I get there. Let me get there with you.
Okay.
I was waiting on this to come out. I'm gonna have to pick up here in a minute. I'm trying to let y'all cook. Good point, brother Shem. Revelation 17 is a fulfillment by Ezekiel, well, I believe it was chapter 38. Just Sister Karima had asked if y'all bring the audience up to speed on what's going on, and basically, the panelists going back and forth on determining the context of what the fowls are, and they're going back and forth trying to find fulfillment of this prophecy. Brother Morris Judicator, I call him Brother Apollo, he's saying that this is not going to be fulfilled until Revelation 17. Brother Shem just introduced a precept that says he's out of context by introducing it like that, making us look further in the future for fulfillment of Jeremiah 17. All right. So I think right now I'm gonna ask Brother Apollo, are you saying that the fowls of heaven in the context of Jeremiah 17 include Israel?
I'm gonna answer your question with a yes, right? And then I'm going to say that that's what Jeremiah said. And when he took me to an Ezekiel, I told him that when he said that this is a fulfilling 19, and I told him that I agree with him because it is saying that, right? But I'm trying to tell him that it's also not excluding that Jeremiah said that you would be in that prophecy.
All right. So can I jump in real quick? I want to introduce some key points that I haven't heard people address. So this is how I'm going to start off.
Somebody, everybody got to mute their mic up. But somebody's making this right from that. Everybody muting up is making like a back.
There you go. All right, bet. All right. So this is what I want to say. I'm going in my position is just a second. Just a second.
A lot of this is going to be messed up on the playback because somebody had their mic open the whole time. So when we hear it back, it's going to be a lot of, static and noise.
All right, I'm back. All right, so check this out. So I'm going to emphatically state that what you are reading in Jeremiah chapter 19 was fulfilled in was fulfilled in the siege of Jerusalem. And I'm going to pull some precepts to prove my position. So when you read Jeremiah, let's start with Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9. I'm saying this was fulfilled in the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD by Vespasian and Titus and all them brothers, right? But this is what I'm using to prove my position so you can thoroughly understand why I feel like this. So the first precept, I'm gonna go back to Jeremiah chapter 19. You went towards the bottom of that chapter, but we're gonna go back up. So we're gonna go to verse 9. I'm gonna show you what's got me so convinced. So one, I want to ask you a question, brother. Is verse 9 a part of this prophecy that you're trying to see where it was fulfilled? It says, and I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and the straitness. So he's saying that this is a part of this whole prophecy in Jeremiah 19 is part of a.
I wasn't talking about that, brother. I'm only talking about the fouls. If you got a verse,
I'm finna bring it all together for you, brother. I'm gonna bring it all together.
I'm saying I only wanted him to read because it was in what was under that was in context of what I was saying. But that part about the siege and the eating the children and all that, I ain't knowing that at all. I'm only talking about the fouls. If you
it all ties in together, brother. You done had a couple of conversations with me back and forth. My name is Kai Rob. I got that name because I'm pretty sharp. They call me the sword, right? And I don't say that in a boastful manner. I loathe in these scriptures day and night, and I'm just trying to share something that I don't see being a part of your understanding. And however you want to try and separate these prophecies in Jeremiah 19, I respect your position. That's on you. I'm saying they all go together, right? The siege that's being mentioned in Jeremiah chapter 19 and verse 9 is still connected to the verses that you are pulling. Where which verse that you were pulling? Where is your verse where it's talking about the birds? Which verse you want me to give clarity to? Which one?
You could go to Jeremiah 7 and 33. Okay. You could go to Jeremiah 15 and 4.
I got it wrote down. But what I want you to know is that Jeremiah 19 is not a good place for you to go. All right. One, because these things were fulfilled in the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD. I'm finna move fast on this, right? Just to give you an example of what I mean. So when I read Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9, it says, I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and the straitness. This is why I'm saying 70 AD. The siege is from 70 AD, wherewith their enemies, and they that seek their lives shall straighten them. So if you roll on over to Lamentations chapter 4, verse 19, you'll see what I'm talking about. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 19. Let me retype that in. Verse 19. So here's the fulfillment. Oh, dang, I gave it away. Hold on. Hot dog it. I wasn't trying to get to that. Hot dog. I wasn't trying to give away the smoke just yet. All right. So Lamentations chapter 4, verse 10. I'll read the King James. It says, the hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were meat. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. So as we all know that the book of Lamentations is written through prophet Jeremiah, who's called the weeping prophet, who's writing a lament about the siege of Jerusalem when the Babylonians came and seized Jerusalem, right? And then, so we know these type of things have to repeat themselves. The same thing happened in the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD, right? So the same way that you see that the Israelites were eating their own flesh and eating their own children, that's fulfilled, which you also read about in Jeremiah 19:9. All right. So concerning the fowls, right? And we all know Lamentations is after the prophecies that Jeremiah is talking about in the entire book of Jeremiah. That's what Lamentations covers. Lamentations covers the desolation and destruction that the Babylonians put on the southern kingdom, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? We all know that that book, when he addresses these prophecies, he'll address Israel first because they're going to go into captivity first. Then he goes on to address Judah, which will be in the land after the northern kingdom went into idolatry first, got scattered by Sennacherib or the Assyrians, and then he addresses Judah in separate prophecies. The prophecies that you are referring to reference the southern kingdom and Judah. Okay, so since you want to see birds, I'll give you the first bird. This I'm showing you how I'm linking these together. If we go down to Lamentations, same chapter, we go down to verse 19. It says, we pick whichever verse you want, right? I want to know one is an eagle, a fowl of the heavens in the context of Jeremiah chapter 7. Is an eagle a fowl of the heaven in the context of Jeremiah chapter 7? Because I'm reading in the King James Bible, Lamentations chapter 4, verse 19, which is after what Jeremiah prophesied, right after it. It says, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heavens. So not only are these birds, but they're birds in heaven in the same context of Jeremiah chapter 7. It says, our persecutors are swifter than eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. So here are some fowls of heaven right here that we are showing being fulfilled after Jeremiah declares these prophecies right here. You feel what I'm saying? These prophecies have to fulfill themselves because they're already predestined and preordained to happen, because you can see them in the Torah in Leviticus chapter 26, verse 29. You can see all these type of things that's linking together. Now, let's go back just a second. Now, I just showed you a fulfillment of birds or fowls of heaven, right? We know multiple nations, when Babylon seized us, took advantage of us in our calamity. We can prove that because we have a precept in several places, right? One of them that I like to refer to, it says in Maccabees, it said, what nation is not taking a part of our spoils? This is a repetitive cycle that the birds or the beast of the field, the birds of heaven or the beast of the field, every time we go into idolatry, he let those other nations come in, smack on us real quick, and then all the other nations feast on us. These are predatory birds. So now, since we're dealing with birds, I'm finna bring it back to the context we're talking about. We're talking about fowls. My thing that I want everybody to know is that Israel, Jerusalem, Zion is only referred to as one bird out of every bird, right? When the Holy Spirit descended on Christ, who's evident, he sprang out of Judah, who's an Israelite, a dove ascended on his head. The Most High only messed with one bird. So with that being said, I'm gonna start by sharing this precept right here. You got to separate Israel from all the rest of the birds, especially in the context of Revelation chapter 17, because 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 24 says, from all the countries of the world, you have chosen this one small land. From all the flowers in the world, you chose this one lily. From all the water in the deep oceans, you filled up this one river. From all the cities that ever been built, you set apart this one city, Jerusalem, as your own. Verse 26, here's the point. From all the birds that was created, you chose this one dove. You chose this one dove. And from all the animals, which you can equate to beasts that were made, you only chose this one lamb. So in the context of ravenous birds or predatory animals and birds, Israel is only going to be one of two things when you're dealing with birds and other ravenous creatures. We're either going to be a dove or we're going to be a lamb. So when you're reading about gather round about all ye beasts of the field in the context of Hosea, when you in the context of Jeremiah, those other birds can't be Israel consuming themselves and getting consumed with the other people, outside of the fact that we know that the unrepentant Israelites are going to be taken away in their sins. So they're basically going to fall to these curses that the Most High has on us. Now, I want to deal with Revelation, right? Revelation chapter 17. And me personally, I think that was pulled completely out of context. And I'm going to tell you why. When Christ comes back, let's get there. This is how you're supposed to use this. So how the brother put Ezekiel chapter 38 on this, right? And he said, well, this is Revelation chapter 17 towards the end is a fulfillment of Ezekiel 38, which is basically that it's going to work out to the advantage of who the real Israelites are, where they're feasting on the other nations, right? And in the context of birds, we already know that these can't be Israelites in the context of where we at? Revelation 17. Was it 17? Where is I will make war against the traveling prostitute?
Revelations 19.
Revelation 19. Yeah, Salakia for that. Revelation 19, right? Let's get there. So when we come down here, notice how this is topic, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. When Christ get back, the first thing he's gonna do is deal with Edom, which is where the beast and the false prophet will have arisen from, right? That right there is the first thing he's going to do without them even standing trial. They have to go to the lake of fire. That is what's happening right here. It is not to the disadvantage of the Israelites for the beast and the false prophet to seek death and not find it and have their worm not die. This is salvation for the Israelites. So first off, when we approach Revelation chapter 19, we need to automatically understand that this is the beginning of the Israelites being liberated. So all the negativity that you are thinking about that's associated with Israel has to go out the door. I'm going to tell you why. Christ don't come back until the seventh seal and the seventh trumpet. He gets rid of the Israelites in the 2/3. They've already went through the fire. Some are going to make it through that fire and some are not. The fire is behind Yahushua, not in front of him for the Israelites. When Christ get back, the fire is for all the other nations that he's going to rule over like a potter with a rod of iron that breaks vessels of clay. This is salvation for the Israelites, right? Now, I'm going to tell you something. What I didn't hear you say when you pulled out Revelation chapter 19 is that Christ is back. Christ is the angel standing in the sun. Right? And we really need to know what this means. I'm going to tell y'all something. The new covenant, right? When you go, like for instance, when you go and read Revelation chapter 12, it says the sun and the moon. People are looking right over this. I'm going to go to it real quick and I'm going to come back to Revelation 19. Revelation chapter 12. Read this now. It says, and a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed in the sun with the moon under her feet. That's Israel. That's Israel. So when we talk speaking in context of the sun, we got Christ with us. Like you can look at this prophecy from Revelation 12, and a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon. This is talking about the Israelites being in Satan, the devil, or the dragon's heaven, but they still got the new covenant on their side. Why do I say that? Because when you read Jeremiah 31, it's a covenant made with the sun and the moon, much like when you read the salt covenant that pertains to the Israelites. You can get that from Phineas in Numbers 25. You can get it from like Numbers chapter 4. Every oblation must be with salt, right? So, matter of fact, since we in Jeremiah, I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I don't want y'all to lose track of this. I'm going to go to Jeremiah chapter 33. Right, it just came to mind. I'm gonna go Jeremiah 33 and 16. We can't just gloss over salvation being attributed or the Son being attributed to salvation. When we say that, we're saying that the Son represents the covenants that's made with the Israelites. I'm finna prove that though. I know everybody like precepts, so let me just get Jeremiah 33 pulled up, and we're gonna come back to Revelation. Jeremiah 33. All right. I don't know why I can't get it. This is a very powerful precept for all the people that's trying to get rid of the Levites. There is a covenant of salt with the Levites that says they can never be done away with. Let me just go around about the verse 16. So when you're looking at that sun, don't skip over there when it say he got the sun with him, right? It says, for this is what Yahweh says, David will never lack a man to sit on the throne of the house of Israel, nor will the priests who are Levites ever fail to have a man before me to offer burnt offerings. to burn grain offerings, and to present sacrifices. The word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah. This is what Yahweh says. If you can break my covenant with the day and my covenant with the night, that's the sun and the moon, so that the day and night cease to occupy their appointed time, then my covenant may also be broken with David, my servant, and with my ministers, the Levites, who are priests, so that David would not have a son to reign on his throne, and the host of heaven cannot be counted, as the sand on the seashore cannot be numbered. Let me skip down, right? So I'm going to go down to right here, verse 25. It says, this is what Yahweh says, if ye have not established my covenant with the day and the night, and the fixed order of heaven and earth, then I will also reject the descendants of Jacob and my servant David, who is Christ, right? So it's not to take from his descendants rulers over the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will restore them from their captivity, and I will have compassion on them. So now let's go back to Revelation 19. Revelation chapter 19, and we're going to read it again with the context of understanding what this is saying. So it says, then I saw an angel standing in the sun. We already know when Christ gets back, that seventh trumpet, that's when the saints are with him. The 144 are literally with him right here, right now, in Revelation chapter 19, verse 17. He's standing in the sun. He's with the Israelites. He's with the saints that have already taken mortality and put on immortality. And he cried out in a loud voice to all the birds flying overhead, come gather together for the great supper of God, so that you may eat the flesh of kings and commanders and mighty men of horses and riders, of everyone, slave and free, small and great. This right here is a fulfillment of Isaiah chapter 24. Everybody on your own free time, go and read it. When Christ touched down, he's going to bust down every nation. Go, what you got, brother?
Say your last 10 seconds. Say your last 10 seconds again. You went out.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, Shalakia for that, my internet be in and out. What I'm saying is that when you go and read Revelation chapter 19, Christ is already here. So all the pains of Israel is behind them. When you see Christ coming right here, the vast majority of their pains, I'll say that, is behind them, because Christ's first stop is going to be Babylon, which is going to be in Jerusalem on the Mount of Olives, according to Revelation chapter 16, verse 19, where Babylon is going to be called into remembrance. Babylon is going to be called to remembrance in Jerusalem, in the Mount of Olives, east in Jerusalem. When you read the first book of Acts, the reason why I'm so convinced of this, when you read the first book of Acts, it said Christ is going to come down the same way he went up the first time. And where did he transcend that? He transcended from the Mount of Olives. So that's where Babylon is going to be called into remembrance. He's going to fulfill Zechariah chapter 14. That city is going to be split into 3 parts. Right at this point, while this is happening, a brother like me, if I'm in Jerusalem, which is a high likelihood, I'm going to haul ass to Jordan. So I'm backing up my brother earlier when he said, when you're reading this, it's some folks getting out the way. I'm gonna be headed to Jordan. If I just so happen to be close to the Mount of Olives and I see this fulfilled, I already know in scripture, which I'm not going to exactly give to everybody, because this audience, I don't know if it's all Israel. I don't see a prophecy where he's telling Canaan to flee with us. I don't see a prophecy where he's telling Tyre and Sidon to flee with us. I don't see any prophecies where he got them fleeing with us to go to the place in the wilderness. What people need to understand is that Isaiah chapter 16 is a very interesting chapter. Anybody that got time right now, just gloss over that first and second verse. Christ is literally going to meet a church in the wilderness. So people cannot deny that there will be people in the wilderness while this is happening. Right? So, and the only way people are even entertaining that is that they think that 144,000 are going to be the only people saved. That's contradicting scripture, because when you read in Hosea chapter 1, he said Israel will be as the sand of the sea. So how can you say that the sand of the sea is 144,000 when he said as the sand of the sea and no man can number? You can number 144,000. The 144,000 is just an army that's going to be with Christ, that's going to go everywhere he go, helping him slaughter all the rest of the other nations. No other nation other than Israel can get this position. So these birds,
Right.
in the context of Revelation chapter 19, are all the other nations. And if you want the full fulfillment of what's going on when you're reading Revelation chapter 19, you need to understand what Ezekiel chapter 38 is saying. Christ had, at this point, Christ would have already dealt with the vast majority of wicked Israelites. And he only going to have a few that he's going to work out of the remnant. See, 1/3 is a remnant, right? 1/3 of Israel is going to go into the wilderness. And when they get to the wilderness, he's going to work a remnant down out of that remnant. That's why when you read Ezekiel chapter 5, if y'all having trouble breaking it down, it's 3 parts that get broken down in Ezekiel chapter 5. You got 1/3 he deal with, he chased them with the sword. You got another 1/3 he deal with, he put them through the fire. That's why you're reading about that 1/3 when you going through these trumpets and vials of wrath. When you get to the 6th trumpet and you get to the 6th vial or bowl of wrath, 1/3 of mankind dies. Christ don't even consider every human being a man. Those plagues are for the punishment of people that took us into captivity and for the brothers that are of Israel that refuse to repent. Right? So one more thing, and I'm gonna get on up out of here, right? When we talking about fowls, right? Just know that Israel is not a fowl. Israel is a dove. And we are the one dove he chose, right? When the Most High picks a tree that got apples on it, he says, we are the apple of his eye. That's what you read about in Zechariah or Zephaniah, I believe. Imagine a tree that's got 300 apples on it, and he said, I just want this one. That part we cannot skip. We understand where the Egyptians fit in prophecy. We understand where the Moabites fit in prophecy. We understand where the Edomites fit in prophecy. And what their identity is today, that's open for speculation. Some people want Edomites to be brown. Some people want Edomites to be white. Some people are going to say it doesn't matter what color they are. It's about who your father is. What I'm telling people, right, is that salvation is of the Jews. And this is what I'm saying. People need to stop conflating being present in the kingdom as salvation. Because just like a person that knows they're Israelite can go in here and I can literally find 20 precepts that not only mention the word salvation in the precept, when other nations go in here and try to find salvation or saved, they have to add that context because save and salvation or shy, right, is not mentioned with any of these nations. Let's not forget when you read Isaiah chapter 40. Let me bring some precepts. I hate getting away from the Bible. This is what the Most High said. These are what you call imprecatory Bible verses, right? Which means that they bring on the spirit of recompense, and the Most High is paying back people that put us into captivity or touch the apple of his eye, right? This is what he said. He does not change today. He's the same today as yesterday and going forward in the future, right? This is what he said, and I don't want people to forget this. It sounds pretty tough, but this is literally thus saith the Lord. I'm going to go at verse 13. It says, who have directed the spirit of Yahweh, or being his counselor, have taught him, with whom he took counsel, who instructed him and taught him in the path of judgment. How you going to tell him what you think is a righteous judgment or not? You don't teach him how to run his courtroom and taught him knowledge and showed him the way of understanding. Not one of the people he created, not even Christ. It says in verse 15, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket and counted as the small dust of the balance. So imagine if you sell cocaine, right? And you put this cocaine on the scale and you bag this brother a kilo up. Israel is the kilo. What's left on the scale is the other nations. The other nations are like you carrying a bucket of water and you drop some on the ground. I haven't seen nobody riding down the street, drinking a cup of Sprite from McDonald's and some of it spills and they pick it up off the concrete on a 99-degree day. It gets left and it needs to be glad it's there because it ain't a part of the big cup. Behold, verse 15, the nations are as a drop from a bucket and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. This is where it gets interesting, right? This is the Lord, right? I know we've been having some back and forth on the arm of the Lord and the Lord of hosts and the Lord. Hey, look, that's the Trinity. They all working together. That's what I do know, right? And if whatever Lord this Lord is to you in verse 13, I think the other two agree with him when he says, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, taketh up the isles as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. What does that mean? It means that these other nations could never offer any type of fuel for the fire or any type of sacrificial creatures in order to satisfy him under no circumstances. Verse 17 literally says, all goyim, all nations before him are as nothing. So when we bring these things out, it's not that we're picking on other nations or we're saying that we're better than them. We don't have to say that because Deuteronomy 7:6 exists. Psalm 147:19 exists. Amos 3:2 exists. Right? Joel 2:27 exists. He tells his people all the time that I will never forsake you. Right? But right here, he never tells Israel, you are nothing. Wait a minute. I'm just now catching this. Not only did he say all other nations outside of Israel are nothing, but then he goes on to double down and says that they are less than nothing. Then he says that they are useless. So when I'm putting this out here so people can understand where we coming from, because we heard the Most High say this, and I'll yield my position from this point. I still
shaking my head. 369 wants you to read Zechariah.
Zechariah
2:8.
Zechariah 2:8. I love Zechariah 2. Zechariah 2. Right. 2 and 8. This is what I was just saying earlier. Every nation that has taken a part of our spoils, you have to go in. The burden is on you. You have to go in and prove where you show that he paid you back for this already. That's the burden that falls on the other nations. Every nation that's in Genesis 10 is still on this earth. Why do I say that? When you read Ecclesiastes chapter 4, it literally says there's no end to all the people, right? When you read Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15, it says the Most High requires that which is past. He didn't give Egyptian salvation in the past. He didn't give Moabite salvation in the past. He didn't give Tyre and Zidon salvation in the past. The only people he has ever given salvation to in the entire Bible is Israel. But somehow people are conflating being present in the kingdom with salvation. Nobody denies that there will be other nations in the kingdom. All we're saying is you're going to have a job to do. Some people are going to be moving wood. Some people are going to be moving water. Some people are going to be carrying the actual daughters of Zion across the street so that they don't hurt their feet. And you're going to be glad to do it. So in that sense, that would be salvation because you're not dead. So if people are, my mind's going all over the place. Let me read this. It says, for this is what the Yahweh of hosts says, after his glory has sent me against the nations that have plundered you, for whoever touches you touches the apple of his eye. I will surely wave my hand over them so that they will become plunder for their own service. I did not know this was right here, right? This is literally saying when Christ comes, whoever touched this one apple off this tree, You finna get the business, and you are a servant. And then that's when you will know that Yahweh of hosts has sent me. So prophecy says that the discussions that are going forward right now, y'all don't know the Lord of hosts, because you're going to know it when he plunders you into servitude, because your history is that of touching the apple of his eye. Slavery is something that has to be talked about, and nobody wants to be a slave. Israel is not a homeborn slave. He didn't ask Egypt, are you a homeborn slave? He didn't ask all these other nations, are you homeborn slaves? He asked Israel, are you a homeborn slave? It's a question mark behind the question that the Most High is asking them. And the answer to that question is no. I got another precept right here, right? It's going to be somebody watching salvation while somebody's receiving salvation, right? I think it's Isaiah 52:8. Isaiah 52:8, and I'm finna yield this position because I have a tendency to talk too much, right?
I would say 8 to about 10.
I will start with verse 8, right? And by the way, my other name is Tazapah, which means a watchman. It means that I've been tasked with the job to sound the trumpet to the blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics in the Western Hemisphere, that you might want to check your lineage and see if you fit all these curses that will be upon your nation for a sign. And I'm lifting up my voice and I'm shouting for joy when you realize who you are, so you can repent and return to the Most High, because we are literally down to damn near, in my opinion, the last 10 years on this planet until Zion gets reestablished. And I'm actually, I'll be lying. I'll still be lying, y'all. And when I lie about good stuff, I said that this was going to be my last 2 verses, but I'm going to give y'all one more on the way out. This says in the King James, thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. With the voice together shall they sing. For they shall see eye to eye when Yahweh brings Zion. Zion is always unified Israel. Zion ain't Naphtali and Manasseh together. Zion not Ephraim and Gad together. Zion is all 12 tribes back together. They're going to see eye to eye when Yahweh brings them back together, when he gathers the people. Genesis 49:10, until Shiloh come, unto him shall the gathering of the people be, right? So this says, for they shall see eye to eye when the Lord brings back Zion, or in the KJV, when he shall bring again Zion. Verse 9, right? Verse 9, it says,
It's not moving. Your screen not moving. It's on the same thing.
Salakia. That means y'all missed the last one.
Yeah, we did.
Because when I'm talking, it's hard for me to multitask.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so King James, Isaiah 52:9, it says, break forth into joy, sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem. All the context of the Jeremiah prophecies that we're talking about, where the conversation about who the fowls of heaven are, right, is in the context of Jerusalem and Judah. Those precepts didn't even include the northern kingdom. That's what I was sitting back looking like, are we not going to realize that the prophecies that we're reading, when he's talking about all this happening, we don't even see nothing but a remnant of the rest of the Israelites left in the land while he's speaking to them? That's because Jeremiah separated his prophecies. He addressed Israel, then he addressed the house of Judah. We're reading prophecies on the house of Judah. Them was the brothers that Babylon ransacked. The rest of the Israelites was already scattered. Verse 9, Isaiah 52:9. Break forth into joy, sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem. For the Lord have comforted his people, he have redeemed Jerusalem. Let's get one more. This is a powerful precept, right? And I know that you got a lot of input on this, brother Apollo, my Moorish brother. And we could talk about it. But this is the way that I use this precept. It says the Lord has made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all the nations. So the other nations are looking at his holy arm, which represents his power. They're going to see his power, right? And it says all the ends of the earth will see the salvation of our God. So you got some people looking at some people receiving salvation, and then you got other people receiving the salvation. And the people that are receiving the salvation are saying, our God, you only have I known out of all the families on the earth, right? So with that being said, this is something that I don't want people to forget. I'm going to go to Micah chapter 4, and I'm going to go to verse 8 respectively. And I want to hear how people breaking this down right here, because I'm kind of struggling with this precept. Okay. It says, and thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion. Which dominion was the first dominion? The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. This is what I want to see people go in, and I want to see this prophecy fulfilled. Where did he restore the first dominion? King David didn't give salvation to no other nation. You can go fight in his army like Uriah the Hittite. You could be a Philistine and he gonna circumcise all y'all, right? You know what I'm saying? Like when you go back and look at the first dominion when King David was ruling, with no salvation for the other nations there. David killed so many of these other nations that he couldn't even build the temple that Solomon built. And with that, I'm going to give up my position. Y'all forgive me when I speak from these scriptures and I speak from a position of passion. I tend to lift up my voice like a trumpet. I know that this is the internet. I'm not used to being here that much, but people tend to call you out of your name and all that stuff, and that's good because you just fit in scripture. Shalakia, I digress my position.
Do any of y'all other brothers got something to say before I? You know, matter of fact, let me just address you, real quick, right? Because you said a lot, brother. You know what I'm saying? But you only actually pulled one verse that had anything to do with what I was talking about, and that's when you tried to make about the eagles from the heavens when they were talking about in an analogy of the people pursuing you, right? But one thing that you not taking into account, because you keep going into the prophets and what the prophets was saying, because the prophets came before Jesus or Yeshua, right? So the part that you are totally ignoring is that y'all gave him the thumbs down, right? So if you could pull up John 19, right? So we gonna deal with how it was said that with the prophets, but then when he came down here to his freshly formed, it was y'all who gave him the thumbs down, right? It was y'all who turned him over to the Romans. So all of that stuff that you were saying, all them high fives and chest bumpings and all that, yeah, nah. Different picture when he got into the human form, right? And when y'all and everything that y'all did, it was fulfilling prophecy because he already knew y'all was going to do it. How about that? So now let's go to John 19. Man. So we gonna deal with you all the way, right? Let me get there with you. Because I was in Ezekiel. After John 19, I'm going to take you to Ezekiel 13 and deal with you in there, right? Then I'm going to take you to Jeremiah 7, and then I'm going to deal with you there. Matter of fact, I'm going to take you to Jeremiah 7 after I take you to this John 9. So then you can understand why you can't hear the bride's voice and the bridegroom's voice. So John 19 and 11. Could you read that, brother?
Con. John 19, verse 11. Yahushua answered, thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore, he that delivereth me unto thee hath the greater sin. All
right, so that's my stance right there to let you know that he was talking to Pilate before Pilate even came out and told y'all that y'all about that little hand washing thing. That was just ceremonial because Yeshua already had told him that he wasn't getting in trouble for that. So he just was relaying the message to y'all. And then he was telling y'all who's it's going to be on. It's going to be on your children, right? So now we're going to go to Jeremiah 7. Because the children thing is very, you know what I mean, has a lot to do with this.
I'm there, brother. You got a verse?
Yeah, hold on. It's coming up on mine right now. All right. So Jeremiah 30. Could you start with 30? Because this is what y'all did, and it has nothing like you was all over the place when you were talking about this, right? I'm gonna break this down because the birds have nothing to do with y'all. The birds are gonna be eating y'all. Somehow you went to doves and was talking about that. No, it had nothing to do with that. So
Hey,
I'm
why you're doing that, brother? I hate to cut you. So you're saying that in the context of Revelation chapter 19, the birds are going to be eating us while Christ is watching.
Watch this, brother. I took you to John 19, and he just told Pilate that the greater sin was with the people who handed me over. Who handed them over?
The Jews.
All right. So we know he's talking about. We got context. Now let's go to Jeremiah 7 to let's see if he's still talking about the Jews. So let's go. 7:30.
7:30. For the children of Judah have done evil in my sight, saith Yahweh. They have set their abominations in the house which is called by my name to pollute it. They have built the high places of Tophet, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and daughters in the fire, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my heart. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter, for they shall bury Tophet till there be no place. And the carcasses of this people shall be meat for the fowls of heaven, and for the beasts of the earth, and none shall fray them away. Then I will cause to cease from the cities of Judah, and from the streets of Jerusalem, the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, and the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, for the land shall be desolate.
All right. So who's the bridegroom and who's the bride?
The bride is Israel.
No. The bride is New Jerusalem coming out of the sky. Who's the bride? Who's the bridegroom?
That's Israel.
That's cool. I'm saying I asked you exactly what it was. This New Jerusalem coming out of the sky. So what's the bridegroom?
The bridegroom is Christ.
All right. So it's in that verse is saying you're not going to be able to hear his voice, right?
Yeah. And when the Babylonians come down on it, he's not going to talk to you no more.
Right. So you think this is when the Babylonians is coming down. So now with this, because when you try to say about the Babylonians, you're trying to make it still like how you did with the eagles of the heavens, and you tried to revert and use the analogy. I'm showing you there's not no analogy, that it's real fowls and it's going to be real carcasses on the ground. Not the fowls is men that's going to try to get you, like how you're trying to say. No, I'm taking you to 33. Could you read that?
Hey, we still in Jeremiah 7. It's a point I want to address before we get out of here too. Something you said earlier. You said verse 33. It says, and none of the carcasses of this people shall be meat for the fowls and and the carcasses of this people shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth, and none shall fray them away.
So we're talking about, we know when the fowls of the heavens part's going on, because it's talking about the bridegroom and the bride. When I took you to Jeremiah 19, that was the great supper, was talking about the what's happening right before the marriage. And right before the marriage, it's talking about this the same way how in this verse is right before he's talking about the bridegroom and the bride. He's talking about the fowls of the earth, right? Because that's going to happen before the marriage. So I'm saying, when I take you to Jeremiah 15, because now I'm gonna walk you down, right? Because you keep on thinking, and that's what I'm saying. You trying to shuffle out of this, right? Right there, that was the Lord speaking. Now this is going to be Jeremiah speaking. So now it's two people saying this, right?
Yeah. Hey, Shalaki, before we go, you said Tophet is what?
All right. I mean, we could deal with Tophet. So let's go to let's go to Isaiah 30. Let's go to Isaiah 30.
So would you be open to admitting that Tophet is a real place where this prophecy would have happened at?
There's a place that was Tophet, and then there's a spiritual place that's Tophet. Right. And
so
I'm saying,
with the first fulfillment of this prophecy happened at the physical place.
what part are you saying fulfilled? About the birds?
Yeah, look, it's on the screen. It says Tophet in the Hebrew Bible. Tophet or Tophet is a location in Jerusalem.
I know this, brother. Do you know this?
So with this prophecy that we're reading in Jeremiah 19 have been fulfilled right here in this place.
He said it in that. That's where he said it at. Now I'm going to show you that wherever y'all live at, it's still, the streets is like Tophet. That's why y'all say, did you feel like you live in hell? I'm about to show you, before I could actually break it all the way down. That's why when y'all say that it feels like y'all live in hell, because Jeremiah prophesied that wherever y'all come together at, that's what it's going to be like.
It said the hell of Tophet was in Jerusalem, brother, right there. That's all. That's my position.
You don't understand what's going on. That's why you're saying the stuff that you're saying. Once I show you what I'm talking about, you're going to have to backtrack off of what you're saying, because I'm going to take you to Jeremiah 19, where it said that your streets will be like Tophet. Once I show you what Tophet is, now you're going to know where hell is. Then you're going to be like, oh, dude, my streets are like hell. Do you feel like your streets is hell right now?
I don't feel like my streets are hell. I feel like the whole condition of my life is hell.
No doubt. And that's what Jeremiah is telling you. This going to be like that until that part is going to be like that until the Messiah come back.
Right.
Right. And that's what Jeremiah is saying. Jeremiah is saying that. I'm going to take you to Jeremiah 19, where he said, your streets is going to be like of Tophet, and the inhabitants of thereof.
That's why he wrote the book of Lamentations and
are our children still dying by fire?
What do you call fire?
Gunfire. It's still fire. And that's what was happening back then. They was putting the innocent children are still dying from this thing right here. Y'all don't understand. This is a curse that Jeremiah said that's going to be happening because y'all were putting your children in the fire. Innocent children.
No, brother. No, brother. I got to stop you right there. So when it says that we were putting our children in the fire, it's saying that we were worshiping and sacrificing to Chemosh, which was a Canaanite deity that required the blood sacrifice of innocent children. Yeah, and that's what it means when they say we pass to the fire. That's why when you go to Jeremiah chapter 19 and you read verse 5, it literally tells you that. I'm telling you that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why you just said that, and that's literally what I'm saying. I'm saying because you did that, is that this fire is not gunfire; it's idolatrous practices that cause us to literally burn innocent children to another god. It's not a bullet.
just understand, brother. I told you that this is going to still be happening. So if you're telling me that your children ain't dying by fire, I'm like, okay, cool. But Jeremiah said y'all will still be dying by fire. So no matter what you say, Jeremiah said that from that time right there, from y'all doing that, right, that y'all, or that's going to be a continuous thing that happens with y'all. I asked you, are y'all children still dying by fire? And you know they are.
No, we're not dying by the fire that's in the context of Jeremiah chapter 9.
No, of course. But are you streets? Is it when you said you in hell? Is you really in hell?
Yeah,
No.
I don't isolate just
You're
fire.
losing an analogy of hell when you're talking about the state that you know that your peoples is living in.
Bro, the context of fire has to be established just like anything else, right? So, like, for instance, there's gonna be you got a lake of fire. Obviously, when he's talking about fire, in some instances, not talking about the lake of fire. When he say he's gonna cause us to pass through the fire, that's not a bullet. You feel what I'm saying? That's not a specific bullet or people busting at the Israelites. There is different types of fires. And you also have good fire that refines the Israelites like silver.
I'm saying, but what are you saying
fire
about
is
that?
good in a lot of instances because it's refining the Israelites.
But you're not talking about what I'm talking about. You're just talking at this point. We're talking about two different
Let the
things.
audience decide.
And I'm saying I'm talking about something, right? So when you're saying the stuff that you're saying, it should be in context of what I'm talking about, unless you're trying to say something completely different.
Hey, make your point, brother. I'm gonna let you cook, brother.
I swear. Thank you,
gotta
brother.
remember, you also said something that we got to deal with, bro. I'm gonna say that Christ told me he's the Alpha and the Omega, right? You said something about, man, I don't know what you said. You said a prophet came before Jesus.
I don't
you
know.
Got to deal with that.
I don't
know
know
a prophet that came before Jesus if Jesus made the prophets. Not to change the subject, but we're gonna get back to that. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. You should have just let me get to that before you start talking about it, right? So I'm saying that right now we dealing with Jeremiah. Where was we at? Where is that? 7, right? And in 33. Now we gonna go to Jeremiah 15, right? No, I said I was gonna take you but you already understand that Tophet is
19, brother. You said 19. I don't understand Tophet to be the same thing that you say. I'm saying Tophet was a literal place where the prophecies that we was reading about in Jeremiah, it literally got fulfilled there, and it's a real place that you can visit today.
Right. And so I'm saying that you don't understand that in the spiritual world that Tophet is, hell is called Tophet too. That's why they were throwing their kid. First of all, that place that you're talking about, that's hell. The place Tophet, they were making it a hell on earth. Like if you did bad things, they throwed you in there so you didn't get no burial or nothing. If you did, that place was to be in a physical rendition of what hell is. So they thought when they threw you in there that you was going to go to the hell on the other side.
Can you show me that, please?
That means Gehenna, brother. Gehenna.
Gehenna
that means a valley. That means a valley.
But that's the same place, brother. If you knew that you would be talking about Gehenna is in Tophet. Tophet is in Gehenna, the valley of slaughter.
No. Gehenna represents the English word Tophet.
Well, no. Gehenna is a valley, brother. That was in Jerusalem. That's what he's trying to tell you, young brother. You remind me. Well, I ain't gonna sit out here and disrespect you, but you're a little bit younger. My son, he said he got the same energy as you because we came up out here in Iraq. But bro, Gehenna is a valley. That's what he's trying to tell you.
He's not telling me nothing. He might be trying to tell you that.
No, that's what I'm telling him. Yeah.
I'm saying that I could show you what this is saying. Right? I'm first of all, let's not get off a topic because we could deal with Tophet at any time, right? Right now we're dealing with the fowls of the heaven, so we don't want to get off of that because we'll be talking about Tophet and then we'll get off of the fowls of the heaven. I'm not, you know what I mean? I listened to him for a long time, and like I said, he only used one verse that he took me to when it was talking about in Lamentations 4 when it said about the eagles coming from heaven, and he was trying to use that analogy is the fowls of the heaven, what I'm talking about. So I'm trying to show you we talking about two different things.
Right.
So I'm taking him to Jeremiah 15, right? Because once Jeremiah says this, it don't matter what y'all say. Y'all just men. So Jeremiah 15:3 says, I will appoint over them 4 kinds. What's the 4 kinds? Said the Lord, the sword to slay, the dog to tear, the fowls of the heavens, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. Right? So at this point, it doesn't matter what y'all think. Jeremiah said that the Lord told Jeremiah that this was what's up, right? So then in 19 is when he start telling y'all everything else, because it only first started with throwing the babies into the fire. That's what first started this prophecy right here, right? But it wasn't cemented yet till y'all start pouring, till y'all did the foul. I mean, the
Hey, Shalakia, brother, I don't know what verse you're reading from.
We're at in 15.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, let me go back out because I was just at 19. Hold on. I read 15:3.
Gotcha.
Right? I will appoint. So once thus said the Lord, when he said that he was going to appoint, did he mean for real or for fake?
He meant for real.
All right. That's all I needed. So now we're gonna go to 19.
So what can I ask you a question, or you want to keep your flow?
You can ask me a question, brother.
So what are the 4 kinds?
It's right there in 15:3.
So you would agree that it's a sword, dogs, fowls, and beast.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show you that in 19, right? 19 and like I said, at 4, because they have forsaken me and have estranged this place and have burnt incense into other gods, right? This is what y'all were doing at this time. When the young brother took me to the time when they did that before, them people got handled already. So it couldn't have been the people who Jeremiah's talking about, right? Jeremiah's talking about this is what's going on in his time. And I burnt incense into other gods whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of the innocents. So the blood of the innocents was about those children that was getting thrown in the fire. And they have built high places of Baal to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it into my mind. Therefore, the days to come. So what does the days to come mean? So at that point, it's not talking about in Jeremiah's time. This is talking about the days to come. This is talking about in the future, right? Therefore, behold, the days to come, saith the Lord, that this place shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. So now he's then said that this place right here, what the job was calling that, the job was calling Tophet, it was already called a bad thing. He's saying it's even worse now. right? It's the valley of slaughter. So then when he's saying in the next verse, I'll make void the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem in this place, and I will cause them to fall by the sword, by their enemies, in the hands of them that seek their lives, and the carcasses. So now we got to see that that's just a semicolon. I mean, that a punctuation right there is letting you know that it's talking about this, but it's not talking about that exactly this. It's linking it together because it's letting you know this is a forerunner prophecy, and this is what's happening in the future that's going to happen. Like I told you, this doesn't happen till Revelations. And the carcasses I will give to be meat for fowls of the heavens and the beasts of the earth. He already had told you this in 7. Right? And he told you, and the next verse was talking about the bridegroom and the bride, to let you even know how the sequence is going on. Right? And then literally in the next verse, I will make this city desolate and a hissing. Everyone that passes thereby shall astonish and hiss because of all the plagues thereof. So at this point, he's literally saying that the people are going to see this. So you got to show me the fowls of the earth, heavens, coming down, eating people, and then other people seeing it. Right? So now we're going to go to the next verse. Right? And this is the verse where you try to connect everything. This is the verse that I'm saying has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. So I'm going to even skip over that verse because that verse has nothing to do with nothing that is being said. That is just talking about like how I mentioned that you pouring out the incense to the other, lighting the incense to the other gods and pouring out drink to them. Like that's just some extra stuff.
So since you threw out my that one right there, would you say the carcasses are relevant? If I show you something in the same context of Lamentations, where I'm showing every prophecy that you go to right here in Jeremiah 19, what I was trying to tell you, every single one of them is fulfilled in the book of Lamentations. So
you're saying this,
you want to throw away my cannibalism precept, cool.
The reason why I threw that away is because I'm saying I never was talking about that. You wanted to talk about that, right?
No, I want to talk about everything that's here in Jeremiah 19. I'm literally telling you everything you're reading in Jeremiah 19. I can show fulfillment in Lamentations, which is the book to follow in Jeremiah.
When you said that about the eagles of the heavens, right, or whatever you were mentioning, that you did not talk about them actually eating meat of the carcasses of the people. You refer, and like I said, you try to switch it to an analogy and say that those eagles are the people that y'all were fighting with. No. When I'm talking about is these fowls from the heavens that's coming from the heavens. They're up there where Yeshua Yahweh is at right now. They're up there in the heavens, not no sky like how we're trying to say like the sky we look. No, they're up there with Yeshua wherever heaven's at.
Well, you're pointing to a spiritual fulfillment of this with the Gehenna and the Tophet. And then you want a literal fulfillment of literal eagles feasting or literal birds or fowls of heaven, which you can't even identify, to physically eat on us. So you picking where you want something to be a spiritual manifestation. And then to prove your point, you want birds literally feasting on the bodies of Israel, like in the physical, while you're saying that this
I'm not saying that, brother. That's what you're saying. Right? If that's what you want to say, just say that's what you're saying. But that's
a recorded line. I don't want to put false words in your mouth. It's a recorded line, and best believe I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try and find the point, which is about 5 minutes before me, when you're saying that this points to a spiritual fulfillment of Tophet and Gehenna. But you want a literal fulfillment of birds eating real flesh, carnal bodies.
Wait a second, right? We're gonna wait a second. Because Tophet is real in real life. So we're not playing these games. What are you talking about? I didn't say, I said there is a spiritual Tophet and a physical one. Just because I said that, wait a second, brother. Let me explain myself. Just because I said that don't mean you get to build on something that I didn't even show you the part without, because you should have at least waited till I showed you the spiritual Tophet, right? I didn't take you to Isaiah 30. I said, let's deal with these fowls of the heavens, because this is what happens when people start going all over the place. You can't get on one topic, right? So I said, let's stick to one topic. And then you try to go back over to no, we're not talking about Tophet. We're not talking about Gehenna. We're talking about what I've only been talking about with the other brother, and the other brother. I keep saying, can you show me verses where fowls of the heaven are eating y'all? The real ones. Because when I take you to Revelations, when he's crying out to them fowls in the heavens, those are real fowls. And what are they trying to eat? Real meat of real men.
Which are not Israelites.
That's your opinion.
No, he said if Satan cast out Satan, how can his kingdom stand? That's Satan casting out Satan.
Listen, brother, you talking about some other stuff, right? You're not talking about
Christ is
are you talking about fowls of the heavens? No, you're not. So if you're talking about some other stuff, right? That's preaching, not teaching. Right now, you should be showing me where in the scriptures, how you took me and used that analogy with the eagles.
I got you,
right?
Bro.
I need another verse.
I got you.
Bang.
I'm gonna say
I ain't done yet. I ain't done yet. Let me land my plane and then I'll give it right back to you. You was talking for a long time, so there's a lot of stuff I had to address. You know I can't address all that real quick, and you was talking all that
time. That burden of them files, bro. I can do it.
Thank you, brother. That's so easy, right? So I'm saying that the other things that I'm going to address that you were saying, right? So no. I wasn't talking about no doves, and I wasn't putting no analogy to y'all being some birds, right? And then when you were taking me to those verses that you were talking about the other nations, like I said, that was previously before the Messiah going on the cross, right? So you were taking me to the good stuff that he was saying about y'all before y'all snaked him. Right, because once y'all snaked him, now it was a whole nother ball game. Because he told Pilate that. Pilate told y'all that. Like, yo, this blood is on your children's hands. So we're not gonna act like that wasn't said.
I never denied it. Never, ever.
Right. So where is a punishment for that then? Right? Because y'all just glad over the punishment that's supposed to be coming from y'all killing God.
The punishment is in Revelation chapter 8. Revelation chapter 9, Revelation chapter 16, all of those seven, all of those
Revelation chapter 19,
those seven vials of wrath, that is the Israelites' punishment.
Yeah, all right, because it could have when I was reading that, the whole world was getting those punishments, right? I'm talking about the separate punishment that y'all got for giving him the thumbs down and when he could have came up off of the cross.
That's it. I just gave it to you.
Right. But all the world is not in trouble for that. You showed me something where it involves all the world. No, show me where just Israel or just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the ones that was there, show me where they just got something straight to them for that.
The next book.
In what? Revelations what?
No. I'm talking about Lamentations. They got their punishment.
For killing Christ?
No, not for killing Christ.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's not really, I wouldn't even say that it's a punishment for killing Christ, because the way that you're trying to lay this out is kind of not taking into consideration that it was prophesied that he would be persecuted by his own people.
Right.
So if we didn't do that, then the Bible wouldn't even be true.
Y'all were
you would have prophets that don't fulfill themselves. He literally made the book like that. So you're trying to, that's what all these other nations do. They laugh at our calamity.
I'm not laughing at nothing. I'm not. How did I think that's
I'm not treating you as an individual. Of course, you have no problem telling people. You say you're a Moabite. That's what Moabites do as a nation. They take advantage of our calamity. They want to see us starve to death. You see what I'm saying?
Wait a second, brother. Nah, we ain't doing that because Moab don't got nothing to do with y'all giving the thumbs down to God's son.
What I was saying was that is
y'all gotta own up to that. So when I'm saying y'all gotta own up to that, don't try to put that on the rest of the world. Rest of the world is not in trouble for that.
The Jews killed Christ. I would not deny that, bro.
All right, so if we're talking about that, what are you? That's like when people be talking about when the cops kill black people, and then somebody be like, "But black people kill black people." No, we not doing that. Let's talk about who we talking about.
It's the fact. It's just the fact that, brother, like it was all like we get it. You keep bringing up.
What do you get?
Y'all did this. Y'all did that. It was already.
I ain't saying nothing. Like, wait a second, brother. Hold on. We're not doing that because that brother just sat here for at least a half hour talking about all of the stuff that was good, what y'all had this and that, and was going to do this and that. You ain't interrupting one time, but as soon as I start talking, you want to interrupt now.
Yeah, hold on, one at a time.
You telling me to relax? I'm saying you relax. You can relax, brother. I was talking. When it's your turn, I'm gonna be quiet the whole time. I'm gonna put my mic on mute the whole time you talk. I don't know why you felt as though you could just interrupt me, brother. I don't know why you was quiet the whole time. So whatever I said to get you riled up, I don't know, right? I'm saying that I'm pointing out stuff because he's trying to paint some picture that's not the picture, right? And when I'm showing the real picture, now you're trying to act like it's not saying that. When I'm clearly showing you what it's saying. It's clearly saying that you're going to get some fouls put on you. And I'm saying he's supposed to be showing me the verse where the fowls ate you already. Because it's Jeremiah said some fowls is going to eat you. Thus said the Lord.
So you talking about like real fowls though?
Real ones.
Like a bird.
Like the real bird. Like I take you to Jeremiah. I take you to Revelations 19 and 18. He said the fowls.
That those are like ravens and crows.
All right. I'm about to ask him that.
All right.
Which birds are gonna eat us? All of them or some of them? The dove are the doves gonna eat us too?
Karima,
is it gonna be a duck?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think they both get great points, but the young brother, he's so he's so passionate about everything, and the older brother, he's trying to bring out information with that Jeremiah.
Yeah, who are you
my
calling
boy.
the older brother and the younger brother, so I can understand who?
Yeah, I think he calling what you call he's calling what you call older brother. He is older than me, but I'm almost 40. Maybe my voice just don't carry like it should, but I'm about to.
No. I was just saying, it feels like you coming from the aspect of you bringing out revelation, and the older brother who is around my age, because I know he got to be in his mid 40s or whatever, and this and that. I ain't trying to say you were not in your 40s, but I just say I think y'all had the same viewpoint.
Apollo.
But
his name is Apollo.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Apollo. Yeah, Apollo. So what I'm saying is that I think y'all had the same viewpoint, but you don't hear from his standpoint as far as you bringing out revelation in Jeremiah. He may not see the same thing, brother. So I don't know why you won't calm down.
I'm gonna try and do my best of what people perceive.
He's not up here right now. He just dropped off. So yeah, the other brother tried his best to give you his understanding. Okay, here come up Apollo right now.
Yeah. So like with that being said, I don't want to take this brother's floor. I think what would suffice for us is to somebody to be able to demonstrate how did the fowls of heaven turn into
but the fowls, you study dealing with the fowls. You study dealing with the fowls.
Yeah, hold on. Let him finish. Let him break it down from his.
I'm just saying, it's like when I went off from the foul. That's I don't know when you came in the conversation, but that's how everything started. We started about, and he's still driving the point home about the fowls of the heaven. Matter of fact, that's what we're on. He's telling me to demonstrate where do literal eagles or ravens or birds or I guess.
Yeah, but you never told him that. You never told him that. You never explained him that.
Told him what?
You never explained. You say, well, yeah, this is where the fowls come from.
No. That's what I'm saying. That burden is not on me. The burden is on him to show me where that's not talking about nations gathering around us and they're being referred to as birds like we see commonly throughout the scriptures. He's throwing the new wrench in there where it's saying, oh, this is a literal bird that's going to eat
Revelation.
Israelites.
Let's go to Revelations 19.
Yeah, did y'all pull out it's unto me? Did y'all?
Yeah, I got that's what I got on speed dial right there because those birds are in the same context that he's speaking to.
Yeah, and I want the other brother that was about to say something be able to talk because I did allow E to come in, but the other brother he did want to add or something.
Oh, Salah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I like, because this is our understanding, and I'm gonna give you back the floor, Apollo. When you read Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9, it says, my heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. It says, come ye assemble, all the beasts of the field come to devour. So right here, we see that the Most High's heritage is Israel, and it's likened to a speckled bird that's surrounded by other birds, which represent other enemy nations coming to devour her. My question is, why is the burden on me to show you a literal bird when the scriptures consistently tell us that these birds and likenings to beasts represent enemy nations? He calls us trees. He calls us birds. You
said y'all was doves a little while ago. Now you some other birds. So now just go to Revelations 19. It's so easy. Go to Revelations 19.
Screen, please. I'm going to Revelation 19. And you know what else is crazy? I'm gonna say this, and that's just me personally, brother. I don't think you're a Moabite. If you are a Moabite, brother, there is nowhere in the scriptures where you can go and show a Moabite breaking down the prophecies to Israelites in the last days.
Right. That's the one thing I will say to the young brother. Man, how can you say you a Moabite, brother? That shit throwing me off. Karima.
And under no circumstances would a Moabite be breaking down prophecies to Israelites.
The funniest part is, right? Imagine if I was probably like, say, what if I'm really the Israelite and you really a Hamite? Right? I might be the Israelite breaking the scriptures down, and you might be the Hamite that can't understand what I'm saying. How about that?
I could agree with that, brother.
So just make sure you is who you saying you is.
I agree with that.
I've been this for 49 years. I don't know if you've been an Israelite for how many years you've been an Israelite.
Well, you can't undo the bloodline.
But look, hold on, brother. I'm saying what you've been consciously calling yourself, right? Consciously calling yourself an Israelite.
Calling myself apart from the bloodline.
I'm saying you could have been whatever you was. I'm just saying when you realize that you was an Israelite, I don't know how long y'all brothers been saying that, right? But I've been saying I've been a Moabite since I came out the womb, right? So at this point, if you want to have a problem with me being a Moabite, take that up with my pops, man. But I'm saying, yeah, I mean, you can't talk to my pops because I wouldn't dare let you talk to my pops.
I'm not saying I have a problem with it, brother. I don't want you to get that misconstrued, and I don't even want to deal with this topic right now because it's not a part of what we're discussing. What I'm saying is that there is nowhere in scripture where a Moabite is bringing prophecy to any Israelite. He said he raised up his prophets and his Nazarites from the children of Israel. That's why he spoke in parables, so these other nations and the unrepentant Israelites won't be able to get it. So if you are that totally discredits any type of thing that you're trying to bring to somebody who claims to be an Israelite out of the book of Revelation. No other nations are going to be breaking this down to us. That's the reverse of what scriptures teaches.
I'm gonna tell you this, right? It don't matter who said. Truth is truth. You could say because it's coming from a Moabite, you don't want to believe something, whether it's right, it's either right or wrong. It don't matter who the person is, right? You going, and that's going into genealogies and doing all that type of stuff that is saying that you ain't supposed to be worrying about, right? Worry about, am I saying truth or false?
I got you. So we'll approach the conversations going forward, since you want us to throw our nationalities in the trash. It's just people who don't know who they are, just trying to divide the scriptures. You're not a Moabite. I'm not an Israelite. And we could continue the conversation like that.
Cool. All right. I'm saying this. Let's go to Jeremiah 19. I mean, my fault, Revelations. I keep saying Jeremiah 19.
Already there, brother.
Revelations 19. You there?
I'm there.
All right, let me get there.
And by the way, brother, me and you, we cool, bro. We've been chopping it up a minute now. I don't think people know that we've been really dealing in the scriptures and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just how we get down. We like to go through the scriptures, and that's how we get. So I said this when I was first speaking, that people was gonna say this and that about my personality. I'm like this 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And it really don't change. It's just that my spirit might not be for other people, and they try to describe it, and that's just how I am, like 24/7, especially when it comes to the scriptures. I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing, but I'm definitely a zealot.
I'm gonna say this, brother.
I don't think he was talking about your demeanor, but they have been back in the back chat going back and forth, you know, all day, every day. So yeah, they good.
I'm gonna say this, brother, like, because I don't, Old Testament Hebrews is the worst to get along with, to me, right? I'm a barbarian.
Wait. Why you say that, bro?
Because they don't believe in.
I don't rock with the New Testament like that.
Right. So if you don't rock,
Karima know that.
I'm saying if you don't rock with the Messiah, then me and you is automatically on different sides of the fence.
No man can die for your sins.
I ain't saying
blank.
I'm just saying that in my I'm a barbarian, right? And in the barbarian,
that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, y'all getting off topic.
Look, hold on, wait a second. I'm not. I'm just saying that in the barbarians, I got an Old Testament brother.
No man can die for your sins, and I'll show you. And I run through that real quick. I'm running through it real quick. Karima.
I'm just saying I could get along with.
In another discussion, we can do another
I'm not
time.
talking about that, brother. I'm saying I was only saying that to say if I could get along with him, I could definitely. Israelite Williams is a tough dude to get along with, right? And I'm saying if I could get along with Israelite Williams, I could definitely get along with any of y'all.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, you talking about my brother Bo, man. You talking about old Bo.
Bo, me and Bo is in. We barbarians. We in the same.
So.
And I'm saying if I could get along with Bo,
I hear Karima. She's trying to slow down the situation. I'm trying to tell this nigga.
I could get along with anybody.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the brother to get along with.
No, hold on.
Brother.
You're changing up the topic and making another conversation, and you could do that later, okay?
So check this out.
Now, if you know Bo, then you already know what time he's on, right?
Apollo, is it any way that y'all could possibly get back to trying to prove whether or not those files are literal words or literal?
Yeah.
Now listen, this is what I was finna say, because we all some powerful brothers. I've been peeping it. I apologize for being late once again. I literally just moved across the country, and I'm still trying to